I'm Crypto Pio. This is Nifty Culture. I'm here with Malachi and Rob, and we are going to do a deep dive into what happened this weekend in NFTs and crypto, because there is actually a lot to talk about. How's it going, fellas?
What's up, Pio? What happened? I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Well, I want to know what happened. If you know what happened, it sounds like you don't know what happened, but let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think Malachi knows what happened.
Some of it. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. I mean, Foundation is only 100 days old, right? So when we think about this weekend and everything that happened, we were really excited about the BLOU drop on Friday, and some of the silent auction mechanics got confusing for a few folks. The biggest crazy thing that happened was the BLOU drop. Right? If you go and look at the BLOU drop right now, there's a lot of frustrated people because they actually had to delay they delayed all the drops because apparently the Nifty Gateway team came on Discord today and had a live chat, and they were talking about it. And there was a bug in some of the mechanics in terms of having to own multiple pieces of art created some challenges for the BLOU drop, and they wanted to make it fair. And so they paused it for everybody on all of the drawings, which is interesting because if you had a faces and you think that, they're roughly over 4,000 faces, and a lot of them were burned. A lot of people own multiple. I know, Rob, you and your family own 4. Pio, I think you have a couple faces.
How many are left? Do you know how many faces are left?
I don't, but when you think about, I mean, that's part of the thing. And so, like, when I looked at it, there were 98 being minted for the faces eligible drop, and there were roughly over 1,000 people entering it. So if you think of, you got a 1 in 10 chance to win something, that's pretty exciting. And then you look at the other drops, and there's even fewer entrants. There are a lot of pissed off people to say, hey, it worked for me, it didn't work for them. That's not my problem. And so when you think about a lot of that frustration that comes from those types of mechanics, it really becomes a big issue. And so I think there's a lot of frustration that swelled from that. I think the Nifty Gateway team has recently tried to be a lot more communicative to the community, but I think part of what they've been messing up with is that they aren't even they're not going into the details of all the feature enhancements. So they'll come on, they'll talk to us once a week, but then they just go away and they don't keep track of everything that's happening. And so right now there's just a lot of resentment and a lot of frustration. And I think the BLOU drop is coming to a head. And they were candid. They said, we messed up. It's really disappointing for the artists because I'm sure BLOU is really excited about coming out. And I think that the biggest challenge is there's no announcement. If you're not on the Discord, if you're not in the community the way we're in the community, you have no idea what's actually going on. So you're a BLOU fan, you look at these auctions, you're checking nonstop, you're seeing that nothing's been minted, and it gets really frustrating for a lot of people. It's really disappointing.
Nothing is minted? They stopped it completely? There was no drawing or anything?
Sorry, I have a technical challenge. Yeah, nothing's been minted. They're going to redo the drawing or let people come in. They still need to figure it out. And so, like, when you think about those types of challenges, it's really frustrating for a lot of people.
Figure out as in like the validation part of it, because you had to own a certain different art pieces to order to get the drawing, or the drawing mechanism itself, because they've done successful drawings before.
Yeah, I think that there's just more mechanics involved because you have to have multiple pieces make you eligible, and then certain combinations of those pieces.
Yes.
I think that they're moving so quickly that they didn't do enough QA on the drop, and so it sucks, right? And think about it. A lot of people bought a bunch of faces just to be eligible for this. So not only are you frustrated because you spent money to buy a ticket to have access to an auction, you think you're 1 of 10, you got a 1 in 10 chance to win it, and then all of a sudden, no, sorry. And by the way, if you go to niftygateway.com, you don't see anything. You have to basically entrench yourself in Discord communities to be able to find out what's really going on. And it's just, when you think about a business growing and a business becoming, this is $1 million business. They're generating a lot of money from these drops, and I know they're rapidly hiring. They're hiring like crazy. In fact, their new CTO or their CTO was the second employee at Gemini. And so like they're Gemini's letting them bring the right people in. There's a lot of smart people.
Yes.
But the communication is key, right? And it's if you mess up once, shame on me, shame on you, that whole cliche quote. The challenge with that is once you lose trust, people don't come back. And there's a lot of trust that's being lost right now in the community. And so hopefully they can get it figured out pretty quickly. But
was it just the BLOU drop mechanics part of it? Because I mean, from a standard consumer, I don't see much anything besides the BLOU drop now being disappeared from the drop list and stuff. I don't see it here anymore.
I guess what I'd say is like as people that follow, the way we do, there has been a lot of like evidence of things needing to improve. And we've kind of been talking about this really for months now. Like, I feel like every single week there's a new issue that people are mad about. And it's like an actual real issue, right? Like there's always going to be people getting mad. There's always going to be haters. But like, I do kind of feel like at this point, it's week after week, issue after issue. And like Malachi said, they're doing this once a week, like town hall type of thing. But even on Twitter today, I saw people hitting up Duncan, like with questions, or maybe it was Griffin, it was one of the twins, and, just specific questions. And his response to all of them was like, come ask it at the town hall. So I hope that at the town hall, and this, by the way, includes to notable artists. Like I think Chad Knight asked him like a good question. And he was just like, come ask that at the town hall. I was like, all right, man, I hope you guys are cool like that to just kind of tell Chad Knight to come to the town hall and ask it. But yeah, I just hope that this stuff gets answered, because like Malachi said, is like, the artists don't have to sell their stuff on Nifty Gateway. And if OpenC or another platform turns out to, just do better by the artist, like to me, I don't know, you guys have used OpenC more than I have. It seems like it functions better from a technical perspective and has a better user interface. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I would say it does, but it takes a different level of expertise to use OpenC. It's not for your standard on-ramped user like Nifty Gateway is. That's what makes Nifty Gateway stand alone. I mean, being able to use your credit card, that's what the success of Gemini was built on. That's the success of Nifty Gateway. That's why the Winklevoss twins know what they're doing with online websites. It's the seamlessness to be able to sign you up for it and be able to get it done. That's what makes it so great. OpenC takes a little bit more, it takes a MetaMask. It takes its own wallet. It takes you having to buy crypto. So the ramp is a lot different.
Yeah, I mean, to add to that, that's exactly right. It's your comfort level with crypto. And the good thing is that a lot of people have come in through Nifty Gateway, and now they are using Maker's Place and Super Rare. Maker's Place, you can use a credit card as well, Super Rare. They are becoming more comfortable with OpenC, but it's still just incredibly easy for people to come in. It's why Top Shot took off last year. Like the accessibility is, absolutely.
On-ramp. Easy.
And so that's, if they don't fix that though, like once I realize if Beeple did one drop on Maker's Place, right? After his big run and everything, and now he's back with Nifty Gateway. But imagine if I'm BLOU, do I want my next drop to be on Nifty Gateway, or have I now given another marketplace another chance to come in and to really usurp from that standpoint? And I think it's one of those things that it's a fast growing company. These are younger leaders. They deserve all the credit in the world. They're building a company very, very quickly, and I think that people assume that they're just part of. They're just part of Gemini, and they're still a separate company from Gemini. And while they have a lot of the resources and access to a lot of intelligence, the Winklevoss twins want Bitcoin and that piece to be successful. If Nifties are successful, that's great, but that's not their number one focus. And so there's an opportunity for them to hopefully fix a lot of this. I do think that, there was some sentiment issues today on the Discord chat where they were comparing themselves to the early days of Facebook and Instagram, and that's great, but that's also somewhat assumptive. Like, it's not a guarantee that a billion people are going to buy NFTs, and even through Nifty Gateway. So I think that they're victims of their own success right now. They moved too quickly, and I think that the most important thing for them to do is be transparent, be honest, and over communicate on all of these issues. And I mean, if you look right now, it looks like the BLOU drop was never a part of the plan, unless you go to, click drops, and then you see the drop schedule, and it's last week's drops. We're Monday. Like, what drops are happening this week? Why are we still talking about everything from last week? So I think there's just a lot of stuff where any of these issues happening by themselves wouldn't be a big issue. But when you add all of these together, the fact that if I buy something, it gets stuck there. If all of these challenges and the market being down, everyone's a little bit salty, everyone's a little bit grumpy. These things become bigger issues than they would have if it was just one of them, or if things were working a lot better.
Let me tell you, Malachi, they don't even have the drop schedule updated on Nifty Gateway's main website right now, man. It has last week's on there.
Right, that's what I was saying. Yeah, it's a mess. And there's some cool drops tonight. There's some awesome drops, and they need to be more proactive. And once again, they're hiring a lot of people very quickly, but they need to be doing a better job quicker. And it's really frustrating. And yes, so someone said in the comments today on the Discord, Twitter is our primary means of communication with you right now. If you want to know what we're doing, you have to go to Twitter. And just for a company that's pulling in these quality of artists, that's pulling in this level of stuff, you shouldn't have to go to social media to find out what's going on. So it's frustrating. And a lot of people with faces wanted in on that drop, and now TBD. Hopefully we find out more in the near future.
Yeah, one thing to kind of really think about is the last BLOU drop, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, was Faces with Slime Sunday. That was a multi-million-dollar drop. It was at least a $1 million drop, because they sold over 5,000 of them at 333, and then it really quickly got to so it's easily almost $2 million on primary market, and it quickly got to the #1 most traded piece on Nifty Gateway. So just royalty fees after royalty fees just coming in. And so I have to imagine BLOU was like, yeah, solo drop. I'm about to crush this. I'm going to have another 7-figure drop. And literally it gets completely botched, like totally botched. So yeah, I mean, everything you said is right, Malachi, like over communicate. I think that the fact that drops get uploaded so late to the site is another huge, like, something that I'm questioning. I have to imagine the artist is getting the work in 24 hours or more in advance. I have to. If not, that's something that they can definitely fix.
The art, they probably have to submit that months in advance. I would think months in advance. That shit better be in. That stuff's queued up for the next 30 to 60 days. It better be. Their pipeline should be already full of all that stuff.
It is, and they've done a good job at really removing some art. There's a lot of frustration where artists spend a lot of time creating art, and then Nifty pulled the carpet out from under them because they realized that they were doing bad drops for the community. So, I mean, the challenge is, like, this was a technical issue. This was a flaw. This should have been tested. I'm sure it was. It just didn't scale well with the excitement. But my issue is not that it didn't work. My issue is that I don't know when it's going to happen. And that is where the transparency issues start running in, where if I bought and sold Faces multiple times, and I bought Faces is a great piece. It's a great, I think it's an awesome piece, but I did pick it up so that I would have access to this drawing because, one of 4,000, how many of them have been burned? You want to have access to this limited drop. And it's frustrating that we don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And again, it feels like we've been talking about this for a while. Want to quickly touch on this one, which we covered last week. It literally feels like we covered this like a millennium ago. But the one thing that's still in play that we've been talking about a bit is Gary Vee's V Friends. So have you guys been paying attention to this at all? It seems like it's on, objectively pretty well, but not as well as I'm sure Gary Vee had hoped and people kind of expected.
Yeah, I think, had it launched this week, it would have been a lot better because ETH feels a lot cheaper today than it did when it was at its all-time high. We're still watching it. I think it goes back to, one of the principles that one of the people we interact with quite a bit on Discord, where he talks a lot about how and why he collects art. And we've alluded to it before, where if I'm going to spend half an ETH on a piece of art, I want to calculate my current value of ETH, and I want to calculate my future value of ETH. Simultaneously, I want to think about what other pieces of art I'm not buying if I'm buying this. And so I think it lost a little thunder. I think it's one of those things that I think it's got legs, because as he starts to announce all the pieces of VCon, he can control it and he can create his own excitement as we keep getting closer and closer to VCon, whenever that's.
I had an update about that, Malachi.
What's up?
I heard that VCon is going to be virtual.
Well,
I'm just joking.
That was
going to be like, ooh,
how fucked up would that be?
That'd be
It's
bad.
going to be the virtual V Friends conference.
Yeah,
People would burn it.
Elon's not popular right now with a lot of us. I don't think him going to VCon would help. That would have been funny. Who knows? It could be true though. But yeah, the other big thing is just thinking about wrapping up the Nifty Gateway piece. What was really interesting for us is we alluded to this last week, and Mike had a great perspective on some of the challenges where the whales were all coming in and kind of saying, 888 stopped bidding on auctions for weeks on Nifty Gateway, and they're always a big investor in the space. And what's really interesting is that the Nifty Gateway team actually kind of pushed back today live on chat, where they were talking about the question was asked about how those phone calls went, and the response actually was, instead of having them on the platform, they reframed it where the whales may actually start being kicked off of the platform. And some of the examples that they used were nefarious activities, so something fraudulent or illegal, as Mike alluded to. When there's investigations into financials and those types of things, the Nifty Gateway probably can't respond and wouldn't respond. So they have to act as if. Simultaneously, when you think about if they do win auctions and they don't pay, like one of the POC pieces. So there's a lot of frustration right now with the whales, and the reframing of that, where it was, hey, the whales are sitting on the sidelines, and now Nifty Gateway is going on the offensive and saying that they may be kicking off more whales in the future, depending on what happens. Obviously, they don't want to. They love to have all classes of income coming in to support the artists, but it was the most provocative and aggressive I've heard them ever speak relating to some of the challenges that may arrive from Nifty Gateway in the near future.
For sure. Yeah, so
They
we're
better
gonna
not be kicking this whale off, brother. That's all I got to say.
Come on, Nifty
They're
Gateway. If you lose,
they're talking
on,
about
man.
like the guys who are spending like millions, though, right? Millions. Okay.
Yeah, the real whales.
Yeah.
The real whales. Don't disrespect Rob like that.
I'm just a guppy, man. I'm just a little guppy.
Rob's a baby whale.
Baby whale.
So
and
I know that
when
we're
he
not
gets his Mount Gox back, he'll be a certified whale.
Woo, that'd be nice. Pio, we can talk about that story sometime too. The MT Gox story.
Yeah, I don't think our viewers know. I know this because Malachi's mentioned it to me before. One person in this live stream right now named Rob is a survivor of
OG.
Mount Gox, like an OG.
OG, I have a tattoo. I should get the tattoo that says Mount Gox on my arm or something, man.
Can you let people know how much Bitcoin?
38 PO.
38 Bitcoins in Mt. Gox. That's crazy. So if in case
38.
people don't know their Bitcoin history, Mt. Gox was the first Bitcoin exchange. It started as a Magic the Gathering exchange for like digital collectibles that pertain to Magic the Gathering. And it pivoted, the best pivot in business history ever, to $1 billion Bitcoin exchange, the first Bitcoin exchange. And this guy, Rob, was early enough to have been hanging out with his Bitcoin on Mt. Gox. But unfortunately, because it was the first, because it wasn't advanced enough from a security perspective, hackers actually hacked Mt. Gox and got everybody's Bitcoin, including Rob's, 38 total.
Supposedly.
Like maybe not. Maybe Mt. Gox just
then Mark found it on a USB drive years later, and the prices increased so much they can pay back all the debtors. They can pay back everybody multiple times over. So now it's just in the legal system of Japan, and then there's also a legal entity here in the United States who's doing disbursement for the U.S. bankruptcy class action people. So payments should come out in 2022. Payments should start coming out in 2022. And when they asked me, PO, at the beginning of the bankruptcy case, was it 7-8 years ago, I marked, I want my Bitcoins back, not the money. I want my Bitcoins.
You knew it, man. You saw it.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna bring a guest, John, on in just a minute to talk about the Kishu Coin NFT. So we're gonna talk about that real quick, Malachi.
Right.
Just because, to me, like, I know we're not excited about this project, but just real quick, so that we can give our listeners something to check out if they want to see if something might be the next Bored Ape Yacht Club or the next something. This is not a cosign. This is not a cosign that it will be, but this is something that's out there and has the slightest bit of noise, and in theory could eventually be something. Do you want to just mention what it is and where they can kind of look it up?
Yeah, and I want to be clear. We're not pumping Kishu either, but we're excited about that one. But it's the Luchadors. Pio, if you want to pull it up just real quickly, it's a silly project, but they're inexpensive. It looks like it could be the apes, but it's completely on chain. Here, let me paste it into I'll paste
well, we're off to a good start.
Yeah, no problem. But it's once again, this one's silly. I think the apes looked a little bit cooler, but when you look at these little projects and you think about the FOMO, what's really interesting is that this is 100% on-chain art. And so when you think about some of the challenges with IPFS and some of the other aspects of, is my Nifty just pointing to an address, or is my Nifty actually on-chain? This is interesting from that perspective.
I love on-chain. On-chain.
But they look kind of silly. They look kind of silly. And so
no, but is it inside the actual contract? Is that little picture thing?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I believe so.
I like on-chain stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's
another one. Yeah, it's got the exact model of CryptoPunks, more or less, with the 10,000 total supply and the pixelated graphic, but it moves, and that's pretty cool. It's so hard to tell which ones of these will pop off, but I didn't know about this morning. Malachi obviously kind of is educating me on it. So yeah, our listeners, if you have any extra time that you want to check something out, definitely check this out. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we move on to Shiba, or Kishu, I should say?
We'll move on to that topic and then move on to something else. We're good.
All right, sounds good. So I'm going to bring in John. So this is our special guest for today to specifically talk about Kishu Coin's NFT. What's going on, John?
What's going on, guys? What's going on? Great to be here. Great to finally get some FaceTime with you guys. You guys are excellent. I watch you guys every week. So thanks for what you're doing for the NFT space.
Thanks, John. Nice to see you.
What's going on, my best friend in the world?
To the show.
How do you like this new setup over here, John?
Oh, I love it. I love that mic. That mic gives you that professional quality. I noticed on the last few you were ramping up to get that mic in your face so that you could really start contributing to the group. I saw that.
Oh, you know it.
Good. It's a good look on you. It fits you well, bro.
So John, tell us a little bit about this Kishu coin and tell us about the NFT coming up here, man.
Man, so this thing has gone crazy, guys. I'm not going to cuss. You know, Robert and Malachi, you guys both know that I like to cuss a lot, but I'm going to keep it to a minimum. So it's a 30-day-old ERC20 meme coin, fastest growing ever. It's been crazy for the last few weeks, and we've gotten over a $2 billion market cap a couple days ago. It's since pulled back a little bit with the market, but it's just gone bonkers. And as part of that, we've been looking into releasing into the Nifty space something cool and unique that's tied to some utility, tied to staking to the coins, and then tied to getting people out in the maker space, creatives, artists, things like that, the ability to create these NFTs, a place for them to launch NFTs that are specifically around the Kishu Inu brand, and tying that into some really cool utility back-end stuff that I can't give too much details on, but I promise that the next time we do this, if we can, you know, when we're really close to launch, we can get on here again, and I'll give you guys a lot more insight, and we'll get the whole crew behind this. But
First of all, it's
going to be really cool.
First of all, yeah. I want my friend Crazy John Wingate passionate on this stuff, bro. I need to get some passion on here, bro. You need to sell me on this, and also, what kind of design we talking about for these Kishu NFT, bro? Are you going to be involved in this design? Is it going to look good? It better be looking good.
We've got artists from all over the world that have been coming to us to get in on creating this stuff. So we've got literally hundreds of artists all over the world. It's been crazy. Like, managing the whole process has been crazy. We're going to tie this to something where we can tie this to animal rights groups. It's going to be really interesting what we're going to be doing here, and it's going to be something where we can get some real buy-in from the space. I think, you know, the main goal that I'd like to see NFTs move into, just as a general type deal, is how they can get past just buying collectible art and turning it into you know, fees down the road for other parts of industries or other parts of commercial enterprises, whether that be donations, whether that be, Rob, you and I have talked about this a lot. Malachi, I'm sure you and Rob and the rest of the group have talked about this a lot, as far as how do you turn this into something that brands just start jumping onto, right? Like, how do you turn this into a product that brands can start to jump on and really hang on to? And so that's what we're trying to create here for some of these nonprofit organizations, and tying it into Kishu as an animal. I won't give too much more than that as far as details into what we're going to be doing, but I think you can wrap your heads around there's some really cool and really special things that are going to be happening here. And, you know, we just partnered with SoftBank. I don't know if you guys know who SoftBank is, but they are a massive company. They're coming on to bring us into the Asian market. And we feel like with you know, a lot of people like Pamela Anderson and a lot of these people who are looking at how they keep animal rights at the forefront of the cultural discussion in the crypto space, there's a real opportunity to do something like this. And that's just kind of a little detail I'll throw out there on what we're doing. But we wanted to get y'all's feedback. I mean, I've been trying to get on here to kind of throw this idea out at you because you guys are the experts here, and we wanted to get this in front of you guys to get your feedback on it.
I love that, man. As soon as you get some of the art coming and you want to come back over here and we want to look at, or we can talk to some artists, we can actually introduce you to some if you need some type of layer or some.
That's what I think. Yeah, absolutely. We'd love that. We'd love for you guys to get involved in whatever way you can, because you guys are really the experts here. And so, you know, we're really just touching on NFT space as a new piece of the pie. And that's why coming here and getting in front of you guys have all the ties into the NFT space. And so whatever guidance or, you know, ability you have to help us ramp and scale this thing, we would love it. We're ready to work with you guys on this and make this something real big, something that I don't know that it's been done before. How do you guys feel about this kind of whole concept of tying it into a real practical utility space?
Yeah, there's excuse me, there's actually an Ape project. It's Ape. I think it's either Apes or Apes.
Here we go.
It's not Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Okay.
It is a
Isn't
conservation.
It FEG? Malachi, FEG, feed the apes or something like FEG or something like that. I thought that's what it was called.
I thought it was just I'll find it, but
Blink, damn it, blink.
I wasn't prepared for this one, but it's a conservation token for apes, and it has nothing to do with Bored Ape Yacht Club. They just were simultaneously going ape at the same time for each other. And I think what you're doing is really awesome. We started Nifty Foundation, not doing what y'all are doing, but I do think that when you think about what you're trying to accomplish and you think about the altruistic aspect, people are so quick to tear down crypto. They're the environment, and we have our thoughts on that, and we don't want to go down that rabbit hole and get into any trouble. But there's things that we can do to offset whether it is even if right now crypto is bad for we can do more to offset that. But we can also do things like create NFTs to drive awareness, to bring awareness. We can start moving more to proof of stake type of concepts. So there's so many things that we can do, and this is why I think we all got excited about this, is because when you think about the future of what NFTs provide, when you think about the utility that we always talk about of VFriends, and we think about the Bored Ape Yacht Club, that if it's in my MetaMask, I get to go in and join this type of thing. When we think about how we can start leveraging NFTs in a altruistic, not-for-profit way, it is actually really, really exciting. And I think that's going to be one of the best cases of utility in the future, because it's measurable, and we can actually say, okay, what are we actually doing? What are we actually providing? And the ledger makes us accountable to that. And so when we think about all of the components about future investment growth and otherwise, I think it's a good project. So we'd love to keep having you on to talk about it, help postulate, introduce you to any number of artists that want to get involved. We can help make introductions, and yeah, I'm
great.
I'm
wow, great. Yeah, thank you so much. The token is Kishu, just KISHU. It's on. You can go on ETHScan. We're on several different. You can get on CoinMarketCap too. Yeah, there it is, right there. We're on several exchanges, but we're going to be doing an ITV stream. Maybe after we do that and you guys get a sneak peek at what we're putting together, maybe we can come back in and talk about how you guys see this growing, maybe what type of opportunities there are to get in with other artists that want to contribute to, animal rights and things like that. But some real special things, because we believe that, taking Nifties into the next phase of utility is what's going to make them go retail, is what's going to make them go to the world, right? And that's what we want here. We want this stuff to be in our mom's hands, to be in our dad's hands, to be in our grandma's hands, because they believe that what they're doing is something that is for the greater good. And so that's really what started this project. And that's why I love what you guys are doing, because you're on the forefront of what goes on in the NFT and crypto space, and you're really pushing it forward. So I really love you guys for doing that and for having me on today. Next time we'll get the notice out. I know this was a last second type of deal, but we'll definitely get the notice out. I'll put it on one of my AMAs, and we can have this thing, have a bunch of people on it next time, so that we can really start getting the people excited about what you guys are doing, what the Nifty space has to offer, and what we can co-collaborate on in the coming weeks and months ahead.
Yeah, no, this wasn't planned. We weren't even going to go live today.
Yeah.
Rob just wanted to play with his new mic, so I think
Yeah,
having you on was a great surprise. And I, this is the type of stuff that gets me excited.
Yeah, thanks, John. This is awesome.
Yeah, John, I have a question
for sure.
Before we let you go. So I think, obviously Rob and Malachi, I know you pretty well. You and I just met just now. I think the audience would be curious. So like, what relation do you have to Kishu Coin, and, what is Kishu Coin? I guess, like, I know you talked about it already at length, but just in like a really simple way, just to have everybody sort of understand what we're talking about here.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kishu was launched. Thanks for that question. That's a great question. Kind of give everybody a little bit of an underlying understanding of what's going on. So Kishu was launched 30 days ago. It's actually 30 days old today. And I got involved on day 2, right? Basically, the way I got involved was I saw it. I look at 3 things when I look at, kind of anything in the crypto space. First, I look at, what the smart contract is about. Does it have any, I can read Solidity, I can write Solidity. So I look at the smart contract, I look at what's going on in there. If there's any, BS happening, that's phase one. Phase two is, what's the team look like? So does it have a real set of people who are behind it, driving it? If not, it's not going to go anywhere. There aren't going to be too many more meme coins that aren't pushed by a team happening. Like Doge is not going to happen again, right? And then number three, does it have community support? And when I got in and I looked at Kishu, I said, damn, it has all three. This is going to be something incredible. I got in there, I saw that there was a focused team, but they don't have the business experience. They didn't have the voice that somebody like me could provide. So I got in there, day two, help the team kind of, coalesce around a lot of different things. And we really started making a lot of headway from a business perspective, started getting out there, pushing out the AMAs, pushing out what we're talking about. And the community just kept growing and growing and growing and growing and blowing up. And just in the last week, we became the fastest growing meme coin ever in the history of cryptocurrencies. We've gone in 30 days, we've gone from 0 to 200,000 wallet holders. That's incredible in the space for a meme coin. And we've already hit $1 billion market cap. This coin it's actually got a team behind it. It's got a team who's invested in, and not only is just giving AMAs and updates, but is actually providing a real roadmap with deliverables, with projects that they're executing on, with the team that's dedicated to it. And so it makes it real unique in the crypto space. And so marrying that with the utility that Nifty's can provide and the utility that some of these other avenues can provide in the crypto space, we've got something very special that's happening. Not to mention the big news that just came out with a collaboration with SoftBank, one of the top 30 businesses and the largest VC company in the world.
Thanks so much for that information, John. And I think that kind of gives clarity in a lot of ways. Let me ask you this. So obviously there's the good cause of the positive impact that, I guess is it the proceeds, or like how exactly are animals positively impacted?
Well, we're not going to, I don't want to go too much into that just yet. This is a very preliminary discussion. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it as far as, providing utility into the Nifty space. But I think, offline with you guys, we definitely should be brainstorming, because I think you guys are one of the leaders in the space, with Rob and Malachi being people who have been in the space. And, Robert was telling me about this stuff when I was like, you're crazy, bro. You're crazy. What are you talking about? And he was telling me about this stuff, and I started looking at it, and I said, man, he's onto something. This is the future. Crypto was phase one, and I will say that I told Robert about BTC. He listened to me and took it way further than I could have ever thought about.
He's the reason that I have a lot of Bitcoin. It's John.
I told him
the white paper. He brought it to me, dude. How much was it? Like 5 cents?
Oh,
when you told me about it.
Cents. This was in like late 2009. I brought it to Robert and I said, dude, this is the future of money. And he said, wow, you're right. And I was in it. We were mining. I was mining on my CPU on, cloud instances. I spun up APIs and stuff. And Robert, he took it and he ran with it. He saw the future. And even where I didn't see it happening as fast as he did, he saw it. So, I really look up to him as far as a leader in the space. I understand the technology behind it, how to write contracts, but Robert, I think, understands the ecosystem. Malachi as well understands the ecosystem. So I look up to you guys as far as understanding where the future of this place is going to be going, and I think that I'm grateful to you guys for doing all this and for bringing all this kind of information to the public, because it's about to explode. We're on the very edge of cultural acceptance with where all this stuff is at, and it's about to explode. And so, Malachi and Robert, I appreciate everything you guys do. And I think that this is going to continue to just be something that explodes, especially as utility comes into it. But I don't want to go too much farther into the type of utility we're going to bring into it, because it is unique, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag before we're ready to launch to the world. But again, I think collaborating with you guys behind the scenes gives us experts in the field who can really help guide this to a place where nobody else has taken it.
Everybody who has the Kishu coin gets airdropped a dog.
Oh, See, so there are little ideas like that. No, you think that's funny, but it's true. I mean, these are the types of things that get engagement, right? Like if people are just receiving, like our coin, one of the big things about the token is it has a 2% redistribution. So there's already a factor of you hold the token and you get rewarded. And so what better way to reward than something like what Rob is just saying, where you randomly drop a really unique piece into somebody's wallet just for being a token holder.
Okay, that's a good idea. I was talking about a real dog, but the Nifty is a better idea.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, maybe we can airmail to wallets or something like that. I don't know how we can do that.
No, but that's a good idea with different rarity levels depending on what. Dude, that's a good idea.
That's a great idea. See, that's why we wanted to come on here and brainstorm this stuff with you guys, because really, you think outside the box. You've been in the space so long that you see what's been done, what hasn't been done. I've watched several of your guys' videos on how these Nifties are changing. Like on Nifty Gateway, they're engaging people, like the BLOU drop that happened just a week ago or whatever, where they made y'all get on and solve crazy puzzles for like 20, 30 minutes. I mean, that was crazy, right? It's getting crazy. And so you guys are on the forefront of it.
Thanks, John. I already have one request for you to be president, by the way.
So yeah, we've got everybody tells me that's my handle on Kishu, President Hodl. That's my Twitter handle. So that's what everybody says.
I love it.
But thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. And
we'll have you back, man.
Additional discussions.
Yeah, I'd love to have you back. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Hey, I owe you a phone call, so I'll text you and we can coordinate.
Sounds great. All right, you guys have a fantastic day. You guys keep making it happen. We love you guys. We love you guys.
Thanks, John.
Out there.
Love you, bro.
All right, thanks, guys. Love you too, bro.
Amen.
Bye. Thanks.
Nice.
Theo, you'll get to know.
Yeah, I need to get to know Kishu Coin for less than one millionth of a cent. I'm ready to rock, man. I'm gonna throw $50 into it and then retire.
I think you'd be
You might
good.
get 50 dogs.
I'm gonna airdrop you 50 dogs.
Kevin, there was a joke. Please, Rob wasn't implying animal abuse. No, that's how I read it. That's the thing that gets me excited is just that, like the cool things that we can do to help the environment, the world, the altruistic. I can't wait for us to be able to share more of what we're working on behind the scenes with Nifty Foundation and those types of things as well. And so hopefully we can get together and do maybe a project together in the near future.
Love it.
For sure. I think we covered everything that we want to cover today, fellas. So any closing thoughts?
I hope Ethereum comes back. I mean, it's fine. It's still up a lot. Xcopy actually just put out a tweet that was really funny, talking about Ethereum is down every 27 minutes ago. Here, I'll paste it to you. But it's funny because ETH is down everybody, and it starts at $191. So it's not down that big, and we needed the correction. It's just the forced versus non-forced correction, right? This is market manipulation from Elon and others. It'll be interesting to see. There might be some big announcements tomorrow. There's rumors that Walmart is going to announce that they have Bitcoin. Not that they're accepting Bitcoin, but that some of these corporations are starting to invest in cryptocurrency as a store of value. So today it's down, tomorrow it might be up. So hopefully more big news comes.
Dude, it's all good. Buy the dip. Everything is okay. OG roll with it. I remember when Ether was $9. Everything is be okay.
Yeah. If I had not panic sold in 2017, I'd be in my Lambo on my spaceship right now.
No, I'd make you hodl it all and make you stake it and live off the cash flow.
For sure. We'll be back Friday with our typical Nifty Culture happy hour, and we'd love to start having more and more guests on. We think it's really good for the community. Keep asking questions. If y'all are still listening, please share this with your friends. When we get to 500 subscribers, we're going to be doing a Nifty giveaway. So we're really passionate about this, really excited about it. It's exciting to see that the viewership just increases every video we do. So Pio, thank you for helping us and getting this going. It's awesome.
For sure, fellas. Well, yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else we want to talk about, Rob, it almost seemed like there was something else you wanted to talk about. I don't want to jump off too soon.
I was looking at our private chat, bro. Was that all the big stuff we were talking about? Boom, boom. I was trying to look through there. Was there anything else that was crazy?
So you said one other thing. You said we were going to talk about Kishu Coin and then talk about one other thing, but you didn't tell me what the other thing was.
I was strategically just leaving that open, bro. I had nothing.
Hey, all right. Better to be, yeah. So Kevin just pinged drop watch after this. Yeah, I'm going to do the drop watch after this. So we will tune in. I'll drop the link in the Nifty Culture Discord. If any other Nifty Culture bros want to jump on, you guys are welcome to it. But otherwise, I'll handle that one. And yeah, I wouldn't be says another live stream before Friday's happy hour. Would that be a crazy thing to say? I think that's a good idea.
I think we're good. We should do it.
All right, everyone. Hell yeah. So everyone, thanks for watching. Follow Nifty Culture on Twitter. That's at NFT Culture. Subscribe to the YouTube. Malachi already mentioned the giveaway. We're really excited about that. And obviously we want it to be one of our dedicated viewers. So just make sure that you knock those things out. If you go on the Nifty Culture Twitter, we'll be tweeting it out again. You'll be able to, kind of see the little checklist of stuff that you got to do for the giveaway. And yeah, tune into Escape Velocity. Follow at crypto_PO on Twitter. I'm going to go live in about less than an hour now, like 40 minutes to cover the Nifty Gateway drop. Hopefully it happens. Hopefully it doesn't get rescheduled, right? All right,
thanks,
gang.
Pio. You're the best.
See you guys next time.
Later, guys.